Hello, this is Secular Parenting. I am Ginger Jesus, and today I want to discuss what does it mean to be grown?
What?
We're rolling.
Oh,
I'll edit it out, don't worry.
okay. Like, comment, subscribe.
Want to do it again?
I'm fine.
So, an acquaintance of mine, he had come to the realization that he was taking all of his negative emotions about his father and he was projecting them all onto his son. And then he realized he was doing the same thing about his unresolved issues with his mother, and he was projecting them onto the mother of his children, i.e. his wife, which he also felt was a great disservice to her. It reminds me very strongly of something that happened to me about 9 months ago, where I was forced to face the harsh realities of my abusive past. The sexual abuse I endured at the hands of my biological father, the emotional abuse I endured at the hands of my stepfathers, and the religious abuse I endured from my mother. And I was forced that day to take a look at their lives and what brought them to their points and the decisions they made. And I could no longer feel anger or rage or shame when I realized that their life paths were preordained, but very hard to break that mold. And I forgave them. I forgave them all. It has allowed me to reestablish or attempt to reestablish a relationship with my stepfather, who tried his best. Ultimately, he failed, but that's no shame on him, because he really did do his best, and I will always thank him for that. But meanwhile, this friend of mine, he now has to look at the world in a different way. He has to look at his children in a completely different way. He has to look at his wife in a completely different way. He needs to look at all the decisions he's made in his life up to this point, and he has to realize where he has hurt people and then try to figure out how to amend that. How was I projecting my pain onto my children? How was I furthering the abuse I suffered? It took me a couple weeks to realize, actually it took me several hours to realize that I needed to completely change the way I saw the world. It took me a couple weeks to really look at how I saw the world and what I wanted to change, and it was a hard, intense process. There was a lot of pain, there was a lot of guilt, there was a lot of shame, and it hurt. But I made the decision to face all that head on, to encounter my pain This is my hope for him as well. It's so easy to feel that kind of pain and push it back aside and just pretend your life is going on as normal. It's so easy. But how does this relate to being grown? You're a man at 13, you're a man at 16, you're a man at 18, you're a man at 21, you're a man if you go to war, you're a man if you have a family. But these are all external milestones. Anybody can do these things. Anybody can turn 13 so long as you live long enough. Anybody can move out of their parents' house so long as they learn some basic skills. Anybody can learn to raise a family. You don't even need to learn to raise a family. You really just have to show up and impart your own skills and knowledge. You don't have to look at that skills and knowledge. You don't have to decide whether or not it's positive. You just have to do it, and suddenly you are a man. That never worked for me. I never felt grown. When me and my wife first got together, I always felt like I was playing house. When we got married, I never thought that it felt permanent because everything was always temporary to me. Everything was for now. So even that felt temporary, like I was playing house, like it was a game. And then with our child, it's like, all right, I'll raise the kid. I'm good with that. I know how to raise children. That's not a problem. But to this child, I was a grown person. And I was willing to walk the walk and talk the talk and quote unquote fake it till you make it, but I never felt it. Until that night, when I looked at all of my deep-seated fears and hatreds, and I made peace. When I could look at my own life with open eyes and realize that I made mistakes. And I have a chance to fix those mistakes. It's not too late. I have a chance to be a better person. That's when I started to feel grown. I'm a man. I have entity. I have a will. I have the ability to teach. I have the ability to pass on knowledge. And I have the ability to raise emotionally stable children. But only because I found that in myself. It was one thing to take what I perceived to be the masculine ideals around me and copy that stuff. I had a very fantastic beard. Find old pictures of me, you'll see them. I saw that as a masculine thing, so I had a beard, and I wouldn't shave it. It was just a part of my identity because I considered that to make... I thought that's what made me masculine. I was angry. I yelled. I exerted my emotional strength over others because I considered that to be masculine. And I used all of the masculine ideals to cover up all the weaknesses I felt inside. They were all fake. And if they're all fake, I can't rely on them. So I have to look inward. I have to keep looking inward, and I have to keep looking at all the things I hate looking at and keep looking at them, because that's what a man does. A man is brave. A man is strong. And a man protects. But almost every culture in the world, it's those three things. How could I expected to look at the world and be brave when I couldn't look at myself and be brave? How could I be expected to protect my family when I couldn't even protect myself against myself? And how was I supposed to be strong when I was too weak to realize that I was broken? Well, how? It's impossible. Raised with stupid preconceived notions about how we're supposed to be and act and raise our family, and what we have to believe, and what we have to worship, and who we have to vote for. All those things we're told by our environment that we have to believe in and we have to care about, or we are not men. And none of it matters. None of it. If we can't look inside of ourselves and be brave and be strong. I am Ginger Jesus. This is Secular Parenting. Be good to yourselves out there.